Okay, so first thing, once it's out of the box, just leave it to sort of stand for a couple of hours just to let the sort of the liquids and everything sort of settle after it's been in transport. You can see it is a really nice humidor. So once you've plugged it in and turned it on, you'll see your display. The display here shows you the temperature of your room. You can set the internal temperature by going up or down. Also has a light. I don't know whether you'll see this fully on camera, but it does have a light. Now obviously that's not a very bright light and it's only going to really illuminate that top shelf, but it's still nice to have. The door on it is really nice. Could do with a handle, but it's not a major issue. The suction on it is really good, and as you can see when you open it up, it's nicely laid out with two shelves that are cedar and a large tray. My suggestion to set this up is to actually firstly clean the inside. Now in the instructions it does say just to simply wipe down the inside, but I'm actually going to use some distilled water and a bit of baking soda because it does smell a little bit plasticky. So the combination of the baking powder and the distilled water, rub that around the inside, leave it to dry. Baking powder is going to soak up any of those smell. Also as well, what I'm going to do is put some baking powder in a little tray inside to absorb any of the smells, keep the door shut and leave that overnight. Then we're going to season the trays and the shelves. Now there's a number of ways to do this which I'll explain now. Okay, so I've mixed up a tiny bit of my bicarbonate of soda and my distilled water, and then I'm just going to wipe around the inside of the unit. Obviously going to turn it off first just in case, and then I'm going to shut that, leave it to dry. Then in the bottom I'm also going to put a tray of just some bicarbonate of soda to absorb any smells, shut that. Then in the morning we're going to season our shelves. Okay, so now we come to seasoning the trays. Now there's a number of ways you can do this. You can fill the little tray that comes in the humidor and place that in and leave it for a couple of days and just let that evaporate and soak into the wood. You could use a Boveda pack, a pre-seasoning pack, and put that in there. Or you can do what I'm going to do, which is just lightly damp down the wood and again just put them back in the unit overnight to season and add humidity to the unit. So all I'm going to do is just take a little sponge, clean sponge, put that into the distilled water, wipe off the excess, and then literally just wipe across so that you can see the shine of the wood. It sort of looks like the wood has been varnished. You can see the natural wood colour come off. If there's too much, you could always just take a dry cloth afterwards and go over it. And it's as simple as that. Now I'm just going to add that back into the unit, leave it overnight, and then we're ready to add our cigars. Okay, so it has been over a week now and I have put my cigars in here, and to really maintain the humidity I put in 3 of the large 69% Boveda packs. Obviously this does have a gauge on it. These are 69%, this is reading 60%, and this is sealed and shut, so this gauge is not accurate, but I know by having these in here that the humidity is going to keep retained. I've put all my cigars in there in my sort of preferred order, and like I said, it's been over a week and I can already tell the difference. I've just kept the door shut, I haven't touched anything, and I had my first cigar from it last night and it did make a massive difference. I think the biggest selling point to this for the 170, 180 pound price is it does keep it chilled, which is nice if you'd live in a hot environment, but mainly it is just the secure seal that is on this, keeps that moisture inside, and they do look very nice. And like I said, it made a difference to my cigar. They're no longer cracking. I was keeping them simply in some cigar boxes with Boveda packs in, and now they've got like a nice suppleness to it. And the flavour, sort of my go-to cigars, which I call my everyday smoke, are the Bone Shakers. I had one of them, and yeah, it was much creamier. It didn't burn. It didn't have such a hot burn to it, which I think was because they were a little bit too dry. So really, for the price, for what you get, the cedar shells, the really secure seal to it, the little light, everything like that, it is definitely worth it. And it is an amazing first time humidor for me. I'm looking forward to sort of stocking it up and filling it up, and I'll keep you up to date as we go along. Enjoy, and I'll see you next time.